Hey, Road Trippin' fam. We are excited to let you know that Road Trippin' is proud to be presented by FanDuel. Never played NBA Daily Fantasy on FanDuel before? Well, check this out. Right now, FanDuel is offering up to a $500 bonus instantly when you make your first deposit with a 20% deposit match. Why should you play on FanDuel NBA? Well, for one, it is easy to use when it comes to their app. What's not to love about that? But also, for example, they offer different and unique contests across sports in relation to your skill level. Oh yeah, and get this. You can play for big prizes, single game contests for the biggest national matches, and enter contests for as low as 5 cents. That's right. 5 cents. Simply incredible. So again, let's recap. Right now, FanDuel is offering up to a $500 bonus instantly when you make your first deposit with a 20% deposit match. Enter URL fanduel.com/roadtrippin to play now and get your deposit bonus. That's URL fanduel.com/roadtrippin so they know we sent you. FanDuel, more ways to win. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome into this edition of Road Trippin' presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Allie Clifton, alongside Channing Fry, Richard Jefferson. And we are in the month of March, which means we celebrate women. We always celebrate women, but especially now in the month of March. And we are so excited about our guest today. She's a two-time MVP. She's a WNBA champion. And she's great in all things. She's a good Instagram follow, just about anything you can think of. Her name is Elena Delle Donne. Elena,
yeah, I wish we had some tracks to clap. It's awesome.
Elena, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited to be on with you all.
Awesome.
You.
Okay, so here's
that's going to go away very quickly. It wears off super fast. So,
Okay, so I've never done this before. I've never started an episode of Road Trippin' as a host with a game of trivia. And we're going to do it because as I was preparing for this episode with you, I came across an awesome interview, a sit-down interview with you and the wonderful Taylor Rooks. And it was within that conversation that she presented a question to you. When it comes to Elena Delle Donne, do you want to be known as a female basketball player or just a basketball player? And I loved what you said. It was awesome. It's Elena Delle Donne, the basketball player. And your example was so to the point and simple and why have we not thought about this or lived our life this way? You said, we don't refer to LeBron James as LeBron James, the male basketball player. So why do we have to do it with females, right? So I thought, how about we get to know each other, or the three of you get to know each other, because I already have. I have 5 statistical categories when it comes to your careers. These two obviously are already retired. Yours are going to obviously change because you're still playing. But as it stands today, I'm going to give you guys a category. I'm going to give you the percentage.
It's not going to end well for us.
And you guys have to tell me which one is Elena's.
Oh, all the good ones. We suck.
And Elena, you probably already know it, but in these categories, the examples will also have their percentages.
Okay.
So you're going to learn a lot about each other, okay?
Here we go.
We're going to start with your rookie season.
Oh.
Elena Delle Donne averaged 9.4 points a game.
Hell no.
12.3 points a game. 18.1 points a game. Or 16.4 points a game.
Ooh.
Am I answering or are we just letting them go?
We can let them go, but then we'll expose their points as well.
18. I'm going to say 18. I'm going to say 18 because I know what I averaged.
Yeah, I got to go with the most. I got to go with the most. It's 18.
The most.
Okay.
18.
Ding, ding, ding. You guys are correct. In her rookie
season,
that.
I appreciate you all picking the high number.
Okay.
Which is actually kind of funny, but Channing, I didn't know this. You edged Richard in your rookie season. You averaged 12 a game. Richard averaged just 9.
Did I? Fuck you, Richard.
Now, Elena, let's first of all, wait a second. And this conversation has been brought up. Elena, do you want to know the difference between him and I?
Yes, please. Let's get into that.
The difference is that we went to the finals my rookie year. His team didn't make the postseason. So 12
we were literally
on
the worst team in the NBA.
12 on a non-postseason team, just under 10 on a finals team. Far outweigh his bullshit.
The point here is the point here is
she's better than both of us.
Yeah, crushed both of you in a rookie season.
Establish this.
All right, moving on. This is a good one because all three of you shoot the 3-ball. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Elena Delle Donne's career 3-point percentage average right now: 37.6, 38.8, 39.4, 34%.
I have no idea.
Hold on. There's nothing lower than 37?
No.
Damn.
There's one, 34%, but obviously just ruled that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that one. And Channing, all you do is shoot the 3-ball, so.
That's why I'm like, I thought there was going to be a 32 in there. I thought you may have had an off year, but obviously not. Damn. I'm going to go, I'm going to go 30. Is there a 39 in there?
Yep, 39.4.
I'm going to go 39. Don't you shoot like 6 a game, 5 a game?
Correct.
Yeah, around that.
A few.
She's like, I get him up, you know, like
yeah,
not to
so
brag,
she's
but
6.
yeah.
She's making 4 to 6. I don't know.
39.4
to step into.
There you go. 39.
That's just how you ease into the game. That's how you ease into the game. You're just like, let me get one up. Just let them know I'm here. Let me just.
Richard, what does that feel like?
No, so
it's like Chenny. If you miss it, you got one more left. Where you coming down here, big fella?
I will say, Luke Walton, one of our good friends, we all went to college together. He was playing with Kobe and did something. He was like, I will tell you this. One of the funniest things that you will ever see if you really watch basketball games is like superstars' first shots. Superstars' first shot. They might fucking shoot anything because it doesn't matter. They're going to get 30 more over the game. They might make it. They might not. Superstars are the only ones that can start a game with a heat check. Let me see how I feel today. Like,
dude, Richard, what's funny is my rookie year, I had just like Larry Brown, who is a good coach with psychotic, didn't DMP'd me for like 3 games and then started me against the Spurs. And I looked up to Tim Duncan. So like I'm sweating. So my first shot, boom, air ball. And he slaps on the butt and goes, hey, first shots don't count. And I see Larry Brown, are you fucking ready to play? I'm like, yes, it does count. Yes, it does count.
It counts for me.
It counts for me. Literally, I got barbecued. I was out. Dude, I was like, yes. He goes, oh, first one.
Fair, though. That's terrible pressure to be under. Like superstars, you can take awful shots and like heat check, like you said, the first shot, and like the pressure is not on. Whereas I see certain players come in and it's like, I just see them so tight and so nervous. And I'm like, this is no way to play. Like, I don't think I would play well like that at all. Thank goodness I get the green light, because I'd be awful if I was in
that. Have you ever given
a superstar?
Yeah. Have you ever? If I wasn't a superstar,
I was just gonna say that's why you're a
this game would be terrible.
Green light.
If I had a semi-green light, like mine is emerald green, if it went down to light,
if it was yellow, I'd be nervous.
Yeah. Have you ever given someone that you did not know, because you see it, like we all know it, like you see a rookie come in and do a turnover, and I know like we're all still a part of the group, even though you're a competitor. Have you ever given someone some unsolicited advice, like, hey, you're gonna be all right, or if you knew, or if like you read articles about how a young player might have been struggling, did you just like randomly just go up and say, hey, we all go through it, or like give me an example of like how you gave it an encouragement?
I mean, there'll be times, especially like when someone's at the foul line and you're all lined up, like you have time to talk to people. So like if someone's struggling in a moment like that, and we've got a good lead, like
it's not like a tie game.
I want them to keep struggling.
Like post game, I told them.
Yeah, and then after the game, I gave them all the confidence in the world. No, but there was something I really like to do. I think I read that maybe Peyton Manning does it. So often in training camp, when we have like a young rookie who comes in, and it is so hard to make it in the WNBA because we only have 12 teams. Some teams only have 11 players. So it is a small number that will make a team. So anytime we have rookies who come along and then unfortunately get cut, I try to either reach out to them or write them a letter. I prefer to write them a letter so they can like really read it, think about it, and look towards it, just to give them confidence and hope. Like, this isn't the end. Like, you were great. You're in a learning curve. This is one of the hardest leagues to make it in because there just aren't many spots. So those are times I try to really uplift a rookie who might have a great career overseas or might even make it in the WNBA in a couple of years. So that's something I try to do. But yeah, if it's a close game though and someone's struggling, I'll talk to them after the game and give them some confidence.
I want somebody to write me a letter.
I was just going to say, my God, that is like amazing.
I feel like you put the
people don't do that anymore.
Too. Do you do that?
People don't write letters anymore. So
yeah, they don't.
I don't know. I try to get old school sometimes.
Can I be vulnerable here? Can I open up and be
please,
vulnerable?
Richard.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you, Channing. I appreciate you allowing me to be. I think writing letters would awesome. I would write more letters, but I kid you not, I don't even write fucking cards because my penmanship is so terrible. My spelling is so awful. You go to write it in a fucking pen and it gets even worse because you can't.
This is a real thing. Can you actually write every letter of the alphabet in cursive?
Yes.
No, that is a lie. Show me a Q right now.
I can look. First of all, go ahead.
Can you do capitals too?
Oh, like no.
Wait. Now I am 40, so you have to understand that like that was like, and again, it got phased out over like 5 years and 10 years, and as more people started typing. But I'm still weirdly maybe one of the last generations that had to do that. Like, you know, that's just true. I'm one of the last generations that like I had to like pass cursive in second grade.
So did I. Like, and I'm 33, and I still don't know.
You're right now.
I did too. I'm 31.
I'm just saying, like, it's to Elena's point and our point as like, it's so awesome to hear that she picks up a pen or a pencil, whatever, and she actually takes the time to write, because nowadays it's the computer. And it's just so easy to like do that. And there's not a lot of thought that I feel like sometimes go into that. It's just a gesture and what's behind that. That's
a beautiful gesture. And I wish that I had the mental capacity and the penmanship and the spelling ability to do it. I really wish. I'm just missing all like 3 of the 4 components that are needed to write a letter. I don't have.
My humor doesn't really translate to letters.
Channing, you should leave voicemail.
In quotes, just kidding, motherfucker. Like,
okay,
you were trash and got cut. And then at the end of the letter, this is all made in sarcasm. Just use my voice.
That's amazing. Back to trivia.
Okay.
Because that one, Elena, again, crushed you guys as well. 3-point.
Well, yeah.
This one kind of goes to what you were just saying when it comes to the free throw line. Are you going to reach out and say something? Free throw percentage for the career and where Elena is right now. 76.8%, 82.2, 93.8, or 89%.
Oh, aren't you 89?
Born in 89.
Oh, you're as old as
she's 80s
you're
baby.
As old as my brother. You're
she's an 80s. Hey, we're 80s babies. 1980 just made the cut. It's cool. 80s baby.
It is said that she might have the best free throw percentage in all of sports.
93%?
Or in all of sports, in both men's and women. 93.8.
Just say basketball, Allie. Just say basketball. And all of
Thank you. You're getting to my point. Yes. Thank you. But Channing, actually, you are 82% for your career, Channing. That's impressive.
No, I don't only get fouled once a year.
Yes. Have you ever seen him by the basket?
Near the paint, right? I don't go nowhere near the paint. My thing is,
but that's actually harder, Channing, because if you only shoot 2 free throws a game, like it's actually more difficult. No? Yeah, that's brutal. Because if you miss 2, you're fucked.
I had
exactly. Out of time.
I can't move like that. After my rookie year, I said, this is too much. This is too much movement. Let me just stand here. Somebody else get me open. Yeah, I'm the best spot-up shooter on the team. Let me do me. I just became a specialist. You know, I'm like a gelato. I'm like your favorite gelato store on the corner. You're like, do I want gelato all the time? No, but when I do, I really want it.
Okay, I had 2 categories left, but you guys got to my point, so we don't even need to look at them. I love Elena's point of just wanting to be known as a hooper, as a basketball player. I think it's awesome.
It's the same rules. It should be. It's not like baseball and softball, right? It's basketball. It's all the same rules. It's like soccer. You know, you have obviously the women's league and the men's league, but it's all soccer.
Randomly, because I play beach volleyball, it's the same. Like when you talk about like 2 pairs in beach volleyball, men and women, you can compare an actual block percentage, or you can compare a kill percentage. Like it's just a kill percentage, 2 versus 2. Mm-hmm. There is no difference. So no, I agree. I think part of having these conversations is also helps us kind of change and tweak the narrative. So I'm on board. We're just going to call them basketball players. And my internet froze because
nope, you're good. Oh, you were back for a second.
I was wondering. I was like, is that me or
No,
you?
it's always
like, moving my mouse around.
No, it's always Richard.
It's always and it's always me, and it's only when we do road tripping. It's like I can do 100 Zooms for ESPN, but the minute I do my own shit, it's like, yeah, fuck you.
Here's a question. So, like, I was thinking we were talking just about like rookie years. Yeah, I know. Shocking. The coffee hit pretty quick. So, like, my rookie year, there were guys that I was like, watched in college. I was like, you know what? I think I can give this dude a bucket, and then realized, damn, this dude is barbecuing me right now. Did you ever have that moment where you were like, okay, I'm a torch these girls, and all of a sudden one of them got your ass? You were like, okay, mad respect.
I was like, so it was with Tamika Catchings. Like, I loved Tamika. I watched her whole career at Tennessee, and then I loved watching her at Indy. She's just always a player I tried to kind of model my game after. Loved her on and off the court. But like when I was a rookie, she was starting to get older, so I was like, I got this. God, I did not have it. She was the strongest person I have ever come across. Like, she is the reason why my off season after my rookie year, I was in the weight room constantly, because she just gave me a forearm and I like, boom, splat onto the floor. Like, I was exhausted by the second quarter playing against her. I had nothing in the tank. I was awful, absolutely awful. So that was one of those moments. It was like, I don't know if it's like old woman strength or she just has always had this strength. I gotta get something.
Richard, was that when Jordan gave you 40?
When he was 40? No, but I do remember hearing those sounds, like when you hit the ground and you make this like whistling groan. You're like, you're like, I'm okay.
Yes.
Did she
have nothing, like you're deflating?
No, Tamika's I want to say Tamika might just be a little bit older than me, just a little bit, but she was like my generation. Like we were, I was a huge fan of watching her, Cash, and watching Sue, because we all like we're kind of around like the same age, like just a few years. But she was such a monster, so strong, so skilled. But like watching younger players come in and play against their idols is one of the funniest things, because you're trying to keep it cool, but you're also like, I want to give it to them. Like, this is no, fuck that. And then you realize it's like, okay, now I realize like why she was my favorite player.
Did she say anything to you in that moment?
Like, I mean, she actually was like super supportive, and even like off the court was great too, like helped me a lot. But on the court, she was just killing me. And I was just like too tired to even hear if she said anything. But she wasn't just great on offense. Like I couldn't get open. She just denied me and I couldn't get open. It was awful.
You start getting mad at other people. Like, guys, you got to give me the ball. You got to pass me the ball better or quicker. Like, come on, guys. I can't get open.
At the other end of the court when she's not near me.
Somebody set a screen? Well, somebody heard.
What brings out, because I also learned this about you too, that you're one of the game's best trash talkers. You like to talk trash?
Who?
You?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So it was the opposite. It was I watched a video when you guys were playing Uno with Sue Bird and Chanae.
Oh, yes. They were all joking.
They
were exaggerating. Yeah. Oh, you leaned into that hard. You were like, oh, yeah.
I know. We were completely joking. It was a big joke, but definitely not me. I'd probably say Diana is one of the best.
Yeah, she's mean.
But it's generally towards the refs, and it's hilarious.
Yeah. Do you ever snitch? Because that's what players will do. Like, you gonna let them talk to you like that?
Oh, I love doing that. I love doing that.
Try to, but it doesn't work. She just gets so under the ref's skin that like it doesn't even matter.
No, that is me. Like, I've seen her the way she talks to any basketball player, male or female. Like she doesn't care. She does not care. Like she'll talk trash. Like and that's the part that made me really start to like love her, is when I would see her talk to like whoever, anybody. Like the only person she wouldn't really kind of talk trash to is Kobe, because like she viewed him as an equal, which is fair.
Yeah.
But like anybody else, she would just be like Kyrie. She'd just be like, yeah, all right, Kai. Yeah, like come on, you're gonna have to win some more, Kai, before you start talking to me. And you're just like, damn.
You're like,
they practiced before us one time, and they were doing a shooting drill, and then we were kind of coming on. They were doing some stuff, and we were getting ready to start, and she's like, well, do you want to do this drill with us? It was like myself, Jason Richardson, Steve Nash, and her. So it's like you have to make 100 or shoot 100 shots, right? To see, what you get. So she's like, all right, I'll do this with you guys. And we're like, hey, do you want to use your ball? She goes, no, I'll use your ball. Fuck, right? We're like, I was like, all right. Man, listen, Steve, obviously Steve's a 50, 40, 90 guy. Steve makes, 87, 88. I go out there 84, 86.
Don't fucking lie. You were 71.
Not lying. Jay Rich, no, homie, no. Definitely not in the 70s. So I had to do the drill again. Jay Rich gets out there. He gets hot and gets 92. She's like, with our ball, she's like, give me 2 shots with this. Whop, whop. She's like, all right, I'm good. 96. 96.
What shots were you shooting?
Dude, so you have to shoot, like, slide to the corner, shoot. Then you got to shoot 10 spots. Slide to the top, shoot. So it's moving, shooting, moving. Shooting.
Well, okay, let me first say this.
Chicken.
Elena, let me first establish this about Channing. Channing will not let the truth get in the way of a good story. Like that.
So are we maybe exaggerating her?
We're maybe exaggerating.
She won the drill.
Okay, that's the part that's the part that we need
to get. It was in the 90s. It was in the 90s. It was above 94.
The part that we need to establish is not the stats, not the facts, but the fact is that she won. She won, and she
in standard fashion with a men's basketball after practicing with a women's basketball for however long.
Yeah, it's like Channing will end the story, but like she made 102 out of 100. It's like Channing, that's
impossible.
We had money balls. We had money balls, and that's the way it works. Like
we had money balls. Yeah, he's like, all the shots were on the move. NBA threes, just always.
Men's basketball. 96? At the end of her basketball, at the end of her practice, at the beginning of yours, and it's like, y'all just shot 500 shots. Like, how long was this gap between practice? Channing, I love the story.
There's 2 sides of a court, you big dummy.
Yeah, but like, you guys were out there 2 hours before at the end of their practice.
2 hours before, at the end of their practice, we were getting on. We had to go early.
So you guys did, but you just said that there was 500 shots shot, and everyone took their own turn.
There's 2 sides of the court, Richard.
Elena, this is what makes road tripping so fun when these
right?
two.
We shoot on one side, and then they shoot on the other side. So 2 people are shooting at one time.
Okay. Well, that helps. I've seen this.
We're not just waiting there, Richard.
So with that said,
we are adults.
Elena, the W is starting soon.
Yes.
How was your off season? Which was different, obviously, for you, given last season.
I'm sorry, what was your question? I'm still laughing at the past story.
So the W is starting, obviously. How has the off season been for you? Obviously, it was different, given the wobble and
it's
stuff.
It's been like so different because I didn't go to the wobble, so I've been in like a 1.5-year long off season. It feels
we just like to call it the bubble. We just like to call it the bubble.
Yeah, we don't like to call it.
It's just the bubble. We don't call it the wobble. There was no
I actually really
bubble.
liked the name though.
It was just bubble. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. Just teasing.
You have a point though. I'm specifying the women's bubble, and I shouldn't be doing that. That bothers me.
It's okay. Yes, we have to specify.
Yes.
You were in the bubble. Yes, or you didn't go to the bubble.
Yes. So they were in the bubble. I was not in the bubble, which it was good because after our championship run and winning, I ended up needing back surgery. And with back surgery, they'll give you a timeline, but I have learned that those timelines for backs are not the same as like thumb surgery, which I've had before. So I had been rehabbing for a really long time. I really don't even think I would have been ready for the bubble at all. So I've still kind of been rehabbing and strengthening. And finally, I'm like back on court doing more basketball stuff and feeling a little bit more normal. But it has been a long, long road, and it's just been crazy.
Your back is half your body. So it's like,
It is, and it's attached to everything.
What was the
everything is attached to I had a herniated disc, so had to clear that up, and then just some other stuff because I'm tall, having issues. So I just was having the nerve pain that wouldn't go away.
How tall? How tall are you, Elena? How tall are you? 6'5".
Oh, you tiny.
So
you're tiny.
Yeah, I'm small. Really
7
little.
foot. You're tall, almost as tall as Richard.
Can we actually dive into really quick? You got it.
Yeah. I was going to say it was cool too, because when I stopped playing basketball for a little, I kind of had to get into another business. So I've been doing a ton of woodworking and started a whole woodworking business. So that's been really fun.
Hold on.
Oh, I've been to the website. So this is one thing. It's no lie. So I was telling Alan, I was like, "Oh, are we going to talk about like her woodworking stuff?" And she was like, "Wait, I feel like I know about," and I was like, "Well, look, just go check it out and see it. There's some really, really cool stuff. Like I have like looked at it. I was like, I want to purchase something. Like, so I think the work that you do is absolutely, unfortunately, I've been remodeling a house for 2 years and I'm in a rental. So I was like, I can't buy anything that's going to go into a house, but yes, everybody go check out, like you can plug away because I'm a fan.
It's Delle Donne Designs, so DELDON Designs. We've got an Instagram, we've got our own website. It's just been so much fun. I even product placement. I made that piece right there. We do all different stuff, but mainly wall art, cutting boards, serving trays, charcuterie boards, which
is like the coolest thing, by the way.
We love a good. Me and Channing love a charcuterie board.
Oh
yeah. Someone said it's just a Lunchable that went to college, and I thought that was really funny.
That's so true and so funny.
Listen, if you ain't got the local honey with the nice.
So good.
Yeah, I'll order a charcuterie board 99% of the time I see it on the menu.
Well, I'm gonna order one from you now. So it's literally like my favorite thing to create in terms of like obviously like assembling everything on it, but like cutting boards are like the greatest thing in the world. Cutting boards, charcuterie board, like just to have them. I've got like 10 of them right around the corner. Like,
do you?
Oh my God. I'm obsessed. What is the hardest thing you've had to make or that you like dove into and then you were like, oh my God, why? What was I thinking?
That's a great question. I mean, oftentimes I'll do things with the wall art where I just like get to it and start doing it with the wood and it doesn't work with the angles. So I've started to learn some like ways to do it virtually and get the angles correct because it's taken me so much time where I'm like, what am I doing? This isn't even going to work. We made a massive basketball hoop, which was really fun, but super tough.
A lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the wall art has sometimes like given me moments. I did a piece that was like the DC skyline. That one was really fun and really tough too, but it was cool. It was for the row team. I think it was Georgetown row. So I did like a rowboat and then I had some of the monuments in the background.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, but how did I get into it?
Yeah, you were just like, you know what? I see this tree and it just is a hoop to me.
Yeah, no. So my wife and I are huge DIYers.
Right.
And it started where we made a coffee table. Tight. And it was kind of like how this wall art is. And you know, how social media works. You post a picture and then people are like, oh my gosh, how can I get one of those? So we slowly started the business up. And then this season when I didn't play, it was like, all right, let's really do something with this. And it's just taken off and it's been so much fun.
It's honestly, like even when I saw like some of the designs, and I feel like I saw it maybe in some sort of interview or that you did, and this was, you know, you'd been doing this for years though. You'd been doing this for a while. Yeah. So you'd been doing this for years and I remember seeing it, but that stuff is like, when you talk about like being an athlete and having other things, and you know, basketball can't last forever. And obviously you'll always be an ambassador because you're one of the game's greats. Like, is this something that like, okay, when basketball is done, this is what I'm doing? Is that it? Or is this just like a side hobby that you enjoy, but you have other things that you maybe want to do when you retire?
This is definitely something I will be doing, no doubt. Mm-hmm. But I do think I'll probably head into different things. I like to do a bunch of different stuff, but I love woodworking. I'm hoping one day we can get big enough where like I'm creating pieces, but I'm not actually making them all the
Building
time.
them, yeah.
But that's what makes it special. But that's
I
what makes
know.
it so special is like to know that like, and that's where I know that how fucking hard it is because like your hands are on every piece that come out. So
for sure.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I do always want to like be able to make some of the pieces, but for it to be a little bit more affordable for people, it would be nice to have like something we can like mass produce and kind of have both sides of it. But I will definitely be doing this when I retire. No question. I love it.
Richard was he's very serious. He's not one that like coming into this when he says like he's known about you for a while with this and has like looked at he's so real when he says that, because I put together this list of things and sent it to the guys and, you know, like here's some things on Elena, blah, blah, blah. And that was not on there. And he literally was like, why is it her woodworking? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Where is
like,
yeah.
I was like, because this is what I said too. I was like, you got to put it on there because I was like, I don't want to like start talking about this and then like tell the group, hey, you guys gotta go check it out or you gotta go see it. So as soon as I saw what was behind you, I knew exactly what it was and like some of the designs. But all the Road Trippin' listeners, everybody out there, go check it out. It's beautiful. It's awesome. It's like especially for.
He's looking at it right now.
Like that, huh? Now you're on there.
Oh yeah, I'm on there. Listen,
the cocktail card is monster.
What can I order right now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you're gonna get some orders. But no, that's cool. And that's what's for everybody. And one of the things that I like to encourage all athletes, even if we have younger listeners, is just, you know, Channing, when he retired, he jumped right into doing his wine. And both of us started doing broadcasting. Like you see what you're doing. Yeah. It's really cool to see other athletes doing things like yourself that are like off the beaten path, but you have amazing talent when it comes to, I took chorus instead of shop because there were girls in it and you didn't have to design anything to get a grade. So there was like the 18 girls are doing chorus, or 8 of my buddies that I play basketball with are doing shop. I'm like, I'm going to go hang out with the girls. So I never took shop. Yeah, I never took shop. Yeah.
Channing, I love wine. So, you know, if we want to trade off on a charcuterie board with a little wine.
What you need? Don't start.
I'm looking into getting into the wine thing. I'm gonna have to talk to you about that.
Please, I have great advice because it's been an interesting journey. And then as an athlete, like, where do you get your grapes? How often do you want to make it? How are you going to scale? What varietal? You live on the East Coast, so it's like
varietal's a great word, by the way.
Yeah,
it's the right word. You would have like, you know, you might go with like a Riesling with cooler climates, and then you may source your grapes, but blah, blah, blah.
How about you practice your
own vineyard?
No, so we actually do, so we hire out different winemakers and do collaborations with them. So I didn't want to I don't want to use the word stuck with one vineyard because of the fires this year through the West Coast, through Napa and Sonoma Coast and Oregon. And so if you invest in a vineyard, that's 4 years of money down the drain, not including a tasting room. So if you plant, you cannot make juice for 3 years. That's how long it takes. And then imagine after those 3 years, fires come and absolutely torch all those grapes. And then you got to start another 6 years. So that's 6 years of nothing.
Money.
Investing in money. And having a vineyard is nice. Eventually I would want one. But just to source grapes from, and we would have a separate place that has where we sell wine that is not at our vineyard. It would be like somewhere more conducive for foot traffic.
Okay, yeah, which makes sense because not everybody gets out to the vineyards, but it's like
it's an experience. It's nice, but it's hard for me to compete with that when people have backing of like Louis Vuitton and Opus One and Camus and these big companies. They're putting $5 and $6 million tasting rooms there with getting the source grapes from all over the world, and there's little me. Making,
Oh yeah. A little old Channing. Are you gonna go do would you do a brick and mortar store? Would you do that, Elena, where you just have like a store? I'm not talking about your ass, Channing. I don't give a shit what you're doing.
I was talking about Channing, actually. I was like, that's a great idea.
Genius.
I would love to do that. We just would need to do a little better on production. Like right now, it's like we get an order, we make it. Like we need time to actually make more.
Yes.
And have some inventory, but certainly that's in the future.
What do you think it's going to be like as you start to play again? And then
that's what my wife is like, what am I going to do when I lose my other woodworker? Like, it's just the two of us. So
50%.
Wow.
So, and this is why you need to order now, people. You need to order now.
Hurry up and order.
Order now before they scale up. And not saying that she's always going to make pieces so that there's portions of it that are handmade. Random thought. Can I say a random statement that makes me think? Like when I went to Rome, they were saying that Michelangelo or whoever it was that was doing all the sculptures, they were like, well, he didn't sculpt all of it. What he would do is like other sculptors would sculpt like 90%. Yeah. And then he would come and do the finished touches. That's why he has so many pieces. One of these can take months, can take a year to do like a sculpt. They're like, no, he would do the finishing touches. He would do the smoothing out. So it wasn't him doing all the sculptures. It was like they had a team of people. They were generating it. They did most of it. And then he would come in and finish it. And then it was considered his product. So,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, a random thing that I just found out and I thought I'd share with people that won't care about what I just said.
Kind of like what you do in wine, right?
Yeah.
Somebody picks it, they keep it. We get to, blend, and then we put it in our bottle, and then we give credit.
And it's got our label on it, and
Order now, people, while she's doing all the work. This is a fully, because then it becomes, well, this was the piece before they became mass produced. So the value of them are far greater. I got you.
You're great. I mean, these pieces are gonna be huge.
Yeah.
You're great. Can we hire you to sell the product?
Richard works cheaply. He works
I do.
And maybe
I do work cheaply. I'm an idea guy. I'm not an execution guy. Allie is the execution person. I'm just the idea guy. I have a lot of random ideas, but that is really, really cool. That's why I'm excited about you.
What guy am I?
You're the wild card, Channing. We haven't figured out.
You just never know what you're gonna get.
I never know what I'm gonna get.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun. Sure. All right. I'm sorry, Allie. We keep hijacking this and going random places.
No, this is awesome. No, I love it. I actually was just going to ask before we moved on what Elena's palate likes when it comes to wine. Channing, you could use your sales pitch right here because you just dropped a new wine.
I'm really into Pinot Noirs and Cabernets. Pinot Noir is my thing.
You like California Pinot or Oregon Pinot?
Oregon.
Okay.
What's your favorite Oregon Pinot? There we go.
Is that bad?
Hold my beer.
No, I don't care.
I like anything from Willamette Valley. And I'm not like one who spends much on wine. Like I'll go get that 18 bottle wine.
Yeah.
We gotta get you off that, girl. No offense to $18 wine.
I heard from Gino Ariema, who's a huge wine guy. He said, don't ever spend money on like the $70 one. It's either like it's the same as like the $18 one, or you got to really spend a lot and go for like the hundreds. Is that right?
It's like that with whiskey. It's like that with whiskey. There's not a difference between in whiskey. There's not a difference between a $80 bottle and a $500 bottle. There's not a difference. Okay. But there's a difference between a $80 bottle and a $20 bottle, right? So really the range for whiskey is like $60 to $80. Like I'm saying, like those are where most of the really good high level. Once you start getting up there, it's just for the experience. And then once you get to the there's a difference between drinking like Jim Beam versus and Jack Daniels and drinking like Woodford Reserve. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I love Jack Daniels is my first love. I actually have a statue of Jack Daniels in my bar. But that's it's just more of Gino is right. Long story short, Gino is right. Yeah, it's either super, super high in the mids. That's where you need to be.
You got to find the sleepers, right? There's, just going over my head, there's like 4 or 5 places in the Willamette Valley that I would say are under $60, but above 40, between 40 and 60 that are like A1. And then everything else is like 65 to 120 where you're going to get A1, but a lot of them are single vineyards.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what single vineyards means. Channing, you're the only sommelier on this group.
Sorry. They source their grapes from a So like Longlow is 20 acres, and they only use their wine from those 20 acres, which is called a single vineyard. A lot of people source grapes, so they go to different parts of the state and get grapes, and then they put them and make a blend. It's like a Pinot Noir blend.
Mm.
So are you one of those people who can like drink the wine and you're like, oh, there's like a hint of chocolate and a little bit of it's like chestnut. I'm like,
depends on what movie.
What?
He is no. Hang on. First of all, Channing, you are totally that guy.
Totally that guy. 1,000.
I'm still trying to sniff it and taste it again, and I'm like,
oh, it's so buttery. Oh, do you taste that? Oh, yeah, the oak, like, and a taste of rose petals, and oh my God, tastes like baby toenails. It's
I don't get that. I don't get that detail, but like I am in the business, so I gotta know what's good, what's bad, where my palate, what I like, and then try to go find it and then share it to everybody. So that's what's fun. And then I talk to winemakers every day. So like if you talk to a hooper every day, you're going to start using terms like barbecue chicken and, you know, he's a scrub and butter his ass up and this and that. So like wine, you're just like, you know, I'm in Atlanta working for NBA TV, and the Four Seasons knows when I come, and they're like, hey, we have these 3 new bottles for you to try. You know, we went and found them. And so like every night I'm like drinking these, like, do I like this? Who makes it? Can I get some of these grapes? What region? And so it's fun. It's like I get to drink.
So yes, he is that guy. Long story short, he is that guy.
He is that guy.
Well, maybe maybe you can help me with explaining the palate and what I like. Yeah. I know I like drier wines.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know what that means.
I like sweeter wines.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm into
like Mad Dog, Alizé.
That's wine. Good Lord. We're gonna hook you up. I'll DM you some things. If you like the Willamette Valley, there's some good gems you could go grab.
Okay.
If you want a charcuterie board, you gotta.
Cannot have enough charcuterie boards. I got 4 kids, so them mother effers are spoiled. We put a charcuterie board out there, and they're like, "Oh no, artisanal honey, Dad."
Okay, Allie. Before we lose all of our listeners about charcuterie,
sorry, we are off topic.
Here's a good transition for you then. Channing has 4 kids, 3 of which are girls. He has 3 little girls. One, Margot, is I feel like reaching that age. She's getting into sports, right, Channing? Yeah. How old is Margot?
8.
8. So given that we are in the month of March and we're celebrating women in sports, what is your advice to the young ones, to the young girls that are looking to make it, looking for a reason? What's your advice?
For me, the first thing is like, are you passionate about it? Because whatever you do, like, especially not just sports, like business, whatever your career is going to be, like you have to be passionate about it, or you're not going to be able to put in the time and the effort that's needed to be great. So that's number one. And then like start looking to female athletes too. And I know we don't want to say male and female, but
it's okay. It's
fun to see like women who are absolute badasses, and it's like, wow, like that can be me. And I know that the professional athletes, it's a very, very small number, but just even getting involved in sports and being a part of a team, trying to attain your goals, falling down, maybe losing, getting back up, like those are so many incredible lessons that you can learn through sports that will take you into whatever avenue you decide to go to in life. Like I'm not always talking to young ones like, and then shoot 1,000 shots a day and do this. Like, no, it's really not about that. It's just about like the dedication you have to something you're passionate about. And that might not mean you get to the WNBA, or you might not be a professional volleyball player, but doing that and being that dedicated and being a part of a team and learning how to work with people, that's the part that sports is something so great that hopefully everybody is a part of and does.
How hard was it for you, or was it at all, to find your voice and like be confident in speaking out and obviously being that voice? Yeah.
It was really hard when I was still closeted and I wasn't comfortable telling people that I'm gay. Like I thought that, first of all, it's my private life, and you shouldn't get to know that about me, but it doesn't work that way. Like, that was such a big part of me. My wife was such a big part of me at the time. We were just dating at that time, but like, I just felt like I was missing out on being a human. And I was so like Elena, the basketball player. I was boring. Like, if I had an interview, all I talked about was basketball. I was absolutely boring. And I just didn't voice anything. I didn't have opinions on anything. I just felt like this like robot. And then finally, when I was like, screw it. First of all, who cares what people think? If companies want to drop me because I'm gay, then why the hell do I want to be endorsing a company like that? And it kind of just helped me just be who I am and be able to voice what I think, and realize like, you're going to have small groups who you're around and really good people who you've grown up with for a long time. And then you're going to meet amazing people on the journey too. And unless you're vulnerable and you're yourself, like, what's the point? You know, it just was miserable being this robot basketball player.
Well, we asked, okay, so we had Sue Bird on here, and I know the group probably knows what question I'm asked, but it was been a real hot button, issue over the past, transgender in sports, right? Like you talked about like having my voice and being, having the confidence to come out and just, that's when you started to really, open up and relax and just, enjoy life. There's so much conversation about transgenders in sports. And a lot of times people point to women's sports and how it will affect women's sports, because that's, they talk about how you're born and this. I want to know kind of like your thoughts when that starts getting tossed around, and women's basketball or women's athletics are often used as like why you don't. And my daughter shouldn't have to play against this man and lose out the scholarships. Like, what are your thoughts about transgenders in sports, or just, your birth identity versus what you play?
Like, first of all, they're human beings, and it's so frustrating that like, I don't understand why certain human beings think that they get to decide who is in this category and who's able to participate in this. And it's like, what makes you decide that? Why? Because we decided that male and female was so normal. Like, those are just categories that were made up at some point. And like, yes, the majority probably is male or female, but there's a group of human beings that feel that they're not welcome in certain places. And that's something I never agree on. And I think we have to do so much better. And I mean, we have great calls with the league and the WNBA about topics like this to learn more too, because there's certain things you don't know. Like, even with pronouns, I was trying to learn like how to use proper pronouns, because it's just something you're not used to doing like in everyday life. So I think the W is always a great league to look to, and something that we will be showing, like that transgender individuals are 100% welcome in our league, and it works just fine. And we need to have such more of a welcoming way. And I think our world would be so much better if we could just let people be who they are and then allow them in the spaces they want to be in.
Sue made a great point. It's like, just because somebody decides to be who they want to be doesn't mean that they're automatically going to have an advantage at playing basketball. It's like, wait, hold on. So all of a sudden, you decide to be who you want to be, and then it's like now you have an advantage, but they still have to put in the work. And you talked about how hard it is to make it to the WNBA. Yeah. So it's like, like it's not this like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and like it's almost like people are like, well, now you're just going to have guys switching to be women, and then they're going to go crush it in the WNBA. I'm like, that's not why people transition.
Yeah.
It's not like
being a competitive edge.
Best basketball player in the world, so now I'm going to go from a male and be a female, and I'm just going to kill everybody in the league. Like, that's not, you have so missed it. Like,
at that point, it's like you don't even belong in the conversation.
Yeah, it's like, I can't have this argument with you because you are just so off.
Yeah. You're like, that's what they were thinking when they were getting bullied and struggling. And when people had thought about suicide and, doing all these things, they're like, well, I'm not going to be able to go dominate in the WNBA. You're like, what? No, that's not.
It's not. I doubt that went into their thought process. So
yes.
let's.
It's so wild when you say it like that. Like somebody gets cut from their JV and they're like, "That's it, I'm turning into a girl." You're like, "Wait, what?"
No, that's not gonna be the case. So.
No. Okay. That great answer. Sue like echoed pretty much every single thing that you said. Just like, hey, it's all about people feeling comfortable and let them play. You know. And so
exactly.
It's a great conversation because it just happened too.
Yeah.
Right. Is it Clarendon? Is that how you say it? Yeah. I mean, it just happened. And so it's not like one of those topics that we're just throwing out there just to have the conversation and agree to disagree. No, it's literally happening. And I feel like a lot of what we're just dealing with as a whole, you think of the last year, especially, and the W has been so good at being proactive and always out in the front, no matter what it is, but with social justice, you know, being able to have that voice and feel comfortable and get ahead of it, but being informed.
Exactly. And that's what I love about our league. Like these calls that we can hop on and speak with people who have gone through a transition, and it's just great that we're like also able to be educated and learn and grow together.
Well, and the thing that I like most about it, you know, is that listen to the people it impacts. Don't, you know, it's like, oh, well, racism isn't real. And it's like, well, are you Black? Are you a minority? Well, then it's hard for you to express this. And it's like, well, transgender, you know, is going to ruin, you know, sports and WNBA. It's like, well, have you talked to WNBA players about this? Have you talked to the people that it could possibly impact? Because not saying that everyone has the exact same view, but there is an overview from the stars and people that, you know, are a part of that league, that they want people, because some of them, like yourself, have dealt with keeping things closeted or not being open. And you're like, I know what that's like. And if there's a person that is having said experience, I want them to be able to be as open as they can. So it's like, that's the only thing for me, is that when people want to make decisions or are their own views based off of something without talking to the people that it actually impacts, that is the biggest, I think, kind of misguided situation that we get in. And it's like, well, you know, we asked Sue, we asked yourself, and, you know, whoever else we're fortunate enough to have on here. I want to hear from every single, you know, basketball player that's in the W, how they view it. And, you know, I respect your opinion.
Yeah, I absolutely love what you just said. Like, let's talk to the people who are actually impacted before you come up with your opinion. You know, that's huge.
Yeah.
I want to make one transition, but before, just to kind of button this up, obviously I know the guys feel the same way. I mean, you possess such a light, such strength, such grace, you know, and for so many, we see it in a basketball uniform, but just having you on here and being open, and the advice you give to young girls, I'm not even younger than you. I'm older than you, and I needed to hear it. So it matters. So I really do appreciate that. We appreciate that. Channing, I feel like you've got something in your mind right now.
No, I forgot how old you were for a second. So I was like,
I'm still younger than you. Thanks. But I do want to transition the topic into something very topical with the W really quick. Renee Montgomery. I mean, what was your reaction?
She is awesome. I mean, my goodness, like you retire and then you go buy your team from the person that we haven't been naming because we didn't want them getting any extra press trying to get reelected. Like, it's awesome what Renee has done. Like, she's done so much on the basketball court. I've heard from all of her teammates, like, just how amazing she was as a teammate and how she's made them grow so much as people. But like, what she is doing is unbelievable. And it's cool because she has more basketball to play, but I think she realized, like, I need to move on and do something else because I'm going to have that much greater of an impact. And she's doing it.
That was the part that was crazy. I was like, when I saw that, because I know in the NBA, you're not allowed to like have an ownership stake while you're a player. And I was like, wait, if she just retired. Like, that's like, she can no longer, like, look, now I know the opportunity that is in front of an individual, but like, think about like, to just in the middle of your career, not only take a year off to focus on this, but then to have this opportunity presented. And you're like, oh, I thought, like, yeah, I'm not going to speak for her, but it's like, she might've been like, I'm going to take this year off and just focus on this. I'll come back to basketball. But then another opportunity and another door opens. And it's like, you're not going to be able to play in the WNBA again.
No.
And it's like, that's still like, that's hard.
But
like,
how,
people
like,
don't understand.
how are
It's
you going to
amazing.
remember Renee Montgomery though? Like
1000%.
Like, such a boss.
Yeah, such a boss. And
it's
literally.
Maya.
Yeah.
Maya.
Mm-hmm.
Maya was peaking. Like,
Yeah.
she had so many more years to play, probably many more championships to win. And but look what she's done. Like, so much more than what she ever could have done on the basketball court. And she could do a lot on the basketball court.
She could do a lot. She could do a lot.
She can do a lot.
Beat my ass on the basketball court because she was standing in the way of a championship.
And she's so nice and so humble and so just kind of, just amazing. And then she gets on that court and you're just like, here we go again with this shit. Yeah, no, I know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I got nothing else. You're awesome. Thank you so much.
I know. I feel like there's so many other things because you have your hands in so much. Is there anything like we forgot or that you want to push?
Let's
promote?
plug. Give us something to plug.
Yeah.
I feel like we plugged the woodworking. We talked about so much and went off of basketball, but came back to it. You guys are amazing.
No, you're gonna come back on.
I'm gonna do what my agent's doing on your next one that you're recording, just so I can listen to you guys. This is hilarious.
Well, you get. But this is the cool thing is you get the unedited because there's always edits. Because like I said, we
people are always like, will you drop the unedited episodes? And I'm like,
no, we can't.
We
cannot. But that's what's so fun, man, and why. When we first started doing this, we would do so many edits because people would come on and once you're comfortable, say whatever you like, say you whatever. And then we try and protect and make sure that only the content that is positive for everyone involved gets out. And so,
that's how you
thank
get
you
good
so much.
Stuff too. But thank you all. This was awesome.
Come on again. Will you come on again?
Of course.
Awesome.
Anytime.
Awesome.
Anytime.
Yeah, we'll have some fun. Next time we'll really
make sure.
Drink, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll make sure Channing gets you his wine. Yeah.
Yes, and then we'll cheers.
Yeah, I have to work.
There we go.
I'm calling the game.
And I'll have them send. We still have some rosé left. We have to find some Pinot. I might give you some of mine since
you got rosé left. You got some rosé left. Is it all gone already?
Yeah, basically.
That's awesome.
Channing goes, our rosé is dropping tomorrow, and he was like, "You just need to buy yourself a case." I was like, "A case?" He was like, "Yeah, because it's gonna be gone."
That's great.
Awesome.
Hey, good business.
Great business. All right.
Elena, you're the best. Good luck with the upcoming season.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Of course.
Another edition of Road Trippin'.
Yeah.
Hey Road Trippin' fam, we are excited to let you know that Road Trippin' is proud to be presented by FanDuel. Never played NBA Daily Fantasy on FanDuel before? Well, check this out. Right now, FanDuel is offering up to a $500 bonus instantly when you make your first deposit with a 20% deposit match. Why should you play on FanDuel NBA? Well, for one, it is easy to use when it comes to their app. What's not to love about that? But also, for example, they offer different and unique contests across sports in relation to your skill level. Oh yeah, and get this. You can play for big prizes, single game contests for the biggest national matches, and enter contests for as low as 5 cents. That's right. 5 cents. Simply incredible. So again, let's recap. Right now, FanDuel is offering up to a $500 bonus instantly when you make your first deposit with a 20% deposit match. Enter URL fanduel.com/roadtrippin to play now and get your deposit bonus. That's URL fanduel.com/roadtrippin so they know we sent you. FanDuel, more ways to